Joining me is former Hereford United manager John Newman. John, you were born and raised in Hereford. What are your early memories of watching Hereford United when Fred Turner was the secretary?
Yeah, well, they were good memories. I used to go with my dad, and it's a good job Fred Turner is still not alive, because my dad used to push me through the turnstiles and then pay for himself.
You had a distinguished playing career. You were at Birmingham, Leicester, Plymouth, Exeter, then management with Exeter, Grimsby and Derby. You arrived at Hereford in 1983 as a manager. What did you inherit when you arrived at Exeter Street? Because at the time, the club was struggling for re-election most seasons.
Yeah, they were struggling for re-election, and they had to seek re-election. So the chairman and myself went to a meeting in London and managed to get the votes enough for us to be voted back in. And then we started with a clean sheet from there.
Was it pretty stressful applying for re-election? Because back then it was so hard to...
It's never the best thing in the world, is it? It was difficult to get people to agree. I mean, Peter Hill did most of the work. I was the sort of backup. So, but we eventually managed it in the end.
When you arrived as Hereford manager, you made a few changes with some new signings. Did you find the squad very low on confidence?
Yeah, they were very low on confidence. Also, a lot of the players were past their best days, and it had to be reconstructed all the way through.
How did you go about doing that? What type of player did you look at bringing to the team?
Well, there was a few players I knew that were sort of available at the end of that season that I managed to talk to and convince them that Hereford was a place to start your career again and to try and get some success.
One of those players was Ollie Kearns. How important was Ollie to your squad?
Ollie was important because he was a goal scorer. And, he got a great deal of experience about him. And he did a very good job for the club and for me.
The 84-85 season was very successful. We played Arsenal in the FA Cup. What do you remember from those two matches?
Yeah, I enjoyed both of them. I mean, the first game, we played ever so well, went one down, equalised, and should have won the match in the last couple of minutes, but it wasn't to be. But the experience that the players had going to Arsenal in the replay, although we were beat 7-2, I think it was in the end, they gained great experience from it.
That season, we were top of the league in March, but then fell away. What do you think the reasons were for that?
Well, some of the reasons were the fact that I wanted to sign a couple of players, but we couldn't afford to do it at that time.
The following season, we went to Bristol City in the Frank Rover Trophy. We were defeated on aggregate 3-2. How much of a disappointment was it not to take Hereford to Wembley?
Very, very disappointing. That was one of the most disappointing things that's happened to me. I thought we were good enough. We took a lead from the home game to Bristol, and unfortunately it wasn't quite enough to see us through.
You mentioned earlier about the financial problems. How frustrating was it for you not to be able to sign that player that you wanted to improve the squad?
Well, it's always disappointing when you can't do your job properly, but the club supported me as much as they possibly could. It was just that at the time when it was needed, they hadn't got the money to do it.
But what you did do is you signed a player called Phil Stant for £600, and later he was sold for £175,000. What did you see in Phil Stant that made you want to get him from the army?
Well, Phil played in a couple of reserve games and I could see there was some potential there because he was sort of army fit, not football fit, and it didn't surprise me that he had a very good career in the end.
We beat Burnley 6-0 when you were manager, and Burnley, I think, are playing Chelsea tonight, and they're flying high in the Premier League. What do you recall from that game at Turf Moor?
It was an amazing game, really. I couldn't believe when the goals were flying in against Burnley. I mean, you know, you think to yourself, Hereford United going to Burnley and beating them 6, it doesn't seem right, does it?
When you departed from Exeter Street, obviously it was disappointing, but the club was in a better state than when you had arrived. You know, how did you feel? Did you feel that you taken the club as far as you could, or was there an element of disappointment?
No, I think it was a combination of things. And in the end, I lived away from home. I stayed with my mother was alive at the time, and I stayed with her. The first 2 years I could manage, but after then it became very difficult family-wise. So we had to make the party another way.
Hereford United was sadly liquidated December 2014. Obviously, you've been there as manager and as a reserve player. How did you feel?
I felt very disappointed for them. You know, to be relegated like that, it must have hurt everybody. But I'm so pleased that they're gradually making their way back.
And how do you still keep updated with things that are going on at Exeter Street?
Yeah, well, you know, I've got family in the area that keep me in touch with things, and I follow the club's results. I follow their league positions and everything like that. And I'll always have an interest in them because it's my hometown. I'm a Hereford lad, and that will never change.